Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Monday, 11 a.m. PST, which means that I am going to review somebody's Airbnb listing. And so today we're reviewing Kimberly's listing in Utah, in Salt Lake City, actually. And so I'm going to pull up her listing. So give me 1 second. This is probably going to look a little bit strange at first. But then we should be able to see Kimberly's profile. So let's take a look. Kimberly. Hello, Kimberly. Joined June 2015. So Kimberly is new to Airbnb, but she has stayed at other Airbnbs apparently since June 2015, which is great because that means she understands what it's like to stay at an Airbnb. She understands the needs of Airbnb guests. This is something that I always recommend to hosts who haven't stayed at Airbnbs to always stay at some Airbnbs before you go live with your listing, because you can learn a lot from being on the other side of the equation. And while you're at it, you might as well stay in your own neighborhood, right? Because then you get to learn a little bit about what your competition is doing. And so if you go ahead and do it, I would also recommend ask the host some questions about, what's your typical visitor, how do you like provide a good experience, etc. You might as well ask some questions, because obviously you can learn something from hosts in your neighborhood that have already been on Airbnb for a while. But that aside, let's take a look at her profile. So I like her picture. It's a clear picture, shows her face, she's laughing. Those are the three things that you want to look at in your profile picture. People like to look at people who smile. They like to be able to see the eyes, and they like to see a clear picture. As for her profile, she did write a little bit about herself, which I think is really good. She has some verified information, email address, phone number. What she could do is she could ask some friends for some references, because Kimberly is new to Airbnb, so she doesn't have a reputation yet. She doesn't have any reviews. And so if you get a couple references, it's not a deal breaker, or it's not a big deal, but you might as well get it, because it only takes a couple minutes to ask some people to write you a reference, right? All right, so let's go to the search results. So as always, the first thing I do when somebody sends me a listing, the first thing I do is I do a search for that listing on Airbnb. Preferably before I open the listing, because once you've looked at a listing, Airbnb is more likely to show you that listing. And so it influences search results. But that's okay. I don't need to know exactly where it's at, but I need to have an idea of, is this buried somewhere deep, or is this on the top? Now, I did have to zoom in a little bit on the map to get Kimberly's listing up. But that's okay. When you take a look at Salt Lake City, her listing is kind of on the side, close to the mountains. And so when you zoom out, Airbnb will typically show the listings in the area that gets booked the most, right? So you see here it's all more central. But then as we zoom in, you'll see that her listing actually shows up pretty soon, actually. So it's a good sign. She's just started out, so she has the new badge. Let's see. Let me zoom in a little bit more, because this is the one at 115. So it's this one here: ski board hike within 30 minutes of ... All right. So what can we say about this listing in the search results? Right. The first thing you want to do when you start out, you want to actually take a look at these search results and ask yourself a question. If you're going to stay in this neighborhood, which of these listings look most attractive to you? And so I would say, if I were to stay in this area, based on the thumbnails, the listings that kind of stand out to me is, first of all, this one here, number 3. And that's because the picture is quite light, and I find it attractive. I don't know why, but it just, it just makes my eyes want to look at it for some reason. The other listing that kind of stands out is the one here, mid-century modern retreat with hot tub and pool. First of all, because it's kind of an attractive picture. That house looks really nice. I see mountains in the back. I see a couple trees. I see some greenery, some grass, and I see hot tub and pool. Modern, mid-century modern retreat. Sounds nice. Sounds like a place where I would want to stay. I would say this one here, Mount Olympus Garden Level Apartment, stands out. This listing here, outdoor living, that person should adjust the picture because it doesn't cover up the whole space. There's these black bands. That's not good. And so in general, I would say Kimberly's listing is probably kind of somewhere in the middle. Now, what's nice is that it stands out because it has this badge, right? Because she just started, she has the new badge, which really helps. But that thing is going to disappear. So you better get some bookings before Airbnb takes away that little new badge. It's basically helping you to get a little bit more visibility so that you can get some bookings because you're competing with people that have a lot of experience, that have a lot of big reputation. I mean, look at these listings, right? I mean, everyone's a super host, right? That's also because Airbnb likes to show people who are super hosts, not necessarily because they're a super host, but because the things that they do in order to become a super host are good for your visibility, right? These are people that get a lot of bookings, they have a lot of reviews, they probably have like quite attractive listings. They probably do a lot of things right. And so Kimberly here is competing with people that have, 50, 100, 150 reviews. They're all 5 stars and they're super hosts. And so how is she going to compete? Because, fairly honest, if I can choose between 2 listings that are kind of equal, and one listing has 70 reviews or 130 reviews, and one host is a super host, and then I compare that with Kimberly, who's new, then obviously my preference is going to go to the experienced hosts, right? That's just natural. That's just the case. That's reality, right? I'd rather stay with somebody who has had already 130 guests because I'm pretty sure that person is doing a good job. Otherwise, that person wouldn't be in the search results showing 130 reviews. That person wouldn't be a super host, etc. And so the first question that Kimberly has to answer is, how is she going to convince guests to stay with her versus all these other people who have way more experience than her and whose listings therefore are more attractive? And so how can she compete? Well, first of all, price, right? You want to be priced a little bit more attractive than your competition. And so she has 5 beds. I don't know if she has 5 bedrooms, but at least she has 5 beds. So she has a pretty big house. So if I look at some of the other listings and their prices, I see here a 4-bed for 109. I see some free beds for 119. There's a free bed for 45. That's very cheap. A 7-bed for 85. What else? We have a 2-bed for 75. A 1-bed for 25. Wow, it's very cheap to stay in Salt Lake City, I guess. Here's a 5-bed for 139. So I would say, based on the prices of the other listings, she's not that attractively priced. I mean, if I can get a 4-bed for 75 with somebody who's a super host, has 65-star reviews, or I pay about 50% more for 1 extra bed, that doesn't sound like a really good deal. Also, this 5-bed here is a little bit more expensive. It's 25 extra bucks, but it looks really nice. It has a hot tub and a pool. And so I think Kimberly really needs to probably lower her price a bit, because my expectation is that she's not going to get a lot of views based on what I see here in the search results. Now, obviously, this might change if I input some dates, right? Because if all these other listings are booked, then, obviously this picture is going to look differently. But I think it's a good idea to not put any dates so that you can actually see the entire competition. And if you put in some dates, like the best Airbnb things are most likely to be booked, so those won't show up. But if you try and make yourself attractive compared to the people that are doing really well in your area, then obviously you have a really good chance of getting some bookings. All right, so one more other thing I want to talk about. Again, I always talk about this. Who is Kimberly targeting, right? Now, because you want to think, that's something you want to think about. Who are those people that are going to visit and why are they going to visit? Now, right now it's winter. I know there's ski resorts near Salt Lake City. So I'm assuming that she's expecting to attract people who want to go skiing, right? And so what if that's the case? And I don't know for sure, but given the fact that her title says ski, board, hike within 30 minutes of ... that tells me that she's targeting people who want to go skiing. And so if that's the case, then I would design my listing entirely based on that audience. So I would ask myself, okay, who are people that want to go skiing? Do they come with children? Are they typically families? Are they groups with friends? What kind of age range are we looking at? I would think about where they're coming from. Are they typically arriving by plane? Are they arriving by car? Where do they want to go skiing? What can I facilitate, right? Those are the things that you want to think about. And so, in the title, obviously she's trying to speak to that audience. She's not the only one. I see perfect location near ski resorts in downtown. I think that's a bit better of a better title than that she has. Hike within 30 minutes of ... doesn't really tell me anything, right? And so also hiking, I don't know, do people go hiking in the winter? Maybe they do. My guess is that's probably more in the summer. So I would probably, in the summer, I'd probably make my listing, I would focus my listing on hikers, and then in the winter I'd focus it on people who want to go skiing and snowboarding. So I would probably get rid of the hike part, and I would do something more like the listing on her left. Perfect location near ski resorts and downtown, right? That's all I need to know. If I want to go skiing, I want to be near the ski resorts. And the fact that you're near downtown, that's great too, because after I go skiing, I'll probably want to go to a restaurant, eat some food, or I want to go to a bar and, have a couple drinks. I don't know if that's possible in Utah. I heard they're a little strict on the alcohol. But actually, I do remember visiting Salt Lake City on a road trip I did from Chicago to San Francisco, and I'm pretty sure I had a couple. So, what are some other good titles? Mid-century getaway near mountain canyons. That sounds pretty good. And so, I think there's room for improvement when it comes to the title. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go check out the rest of the listing. Alrighty, there we go. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the picture, the gallery, right? And the first 5 pictures. Now, obviously, the first picture is really important. This picture, it's not bad, but it's also not great, because I don't really see much that would like entice me to go like, whoa, this is a place where I want to stay. What she does really well, let's focus on the positive as well a little bit. What she does really well is the 5 pictures that she put up are quite varied, and so you can see quite a lot. You can extract quite a lot of information from these 5 pictures. Obviously, it shows the living room, it shows the kitchen, although I'd say it's not a great picture of the kitchen because it almost feels like you're seeing half of the kitchen. Bedroom, that's a pretty good picture because the bed looks tidy. I would probably put this, I don't know how you call that, the cover or whatever, probably a little bit more tidy way of putting it. But regardless, the bedroom looks nice. The lights are on. There's a bunch of pillows on there. It looks like a bed where I would want to sleep in, and that's very important. Because after you go skiing, you get tired and you want to have a good night of sleep. Next picture, Also looks pretty good. You can see the entire bed. It also looks like an attractive bed. There's a couple paintings on the wall. You know, there's something that looks like a closet, so I can put my clothes in there. I can sleep in a comfortable bed. That looks great. Now this picture is probably the one that I would leave out because it doesn't really add much information, and it's kind of like, I mean, it's essentially it's a picture of the table, but we already know that there's a table because we can see it here. So it doesn't really add much. And then the stuff that's in the background, you do see something of a fireplace or something, but that's not really the focus of the picture. So I'll probably get rid of that one and replace it with a better one. So let's go through the pictures. So she chose this as her first picture, which is like, it's all right, but it's you know, we might be able to put a better one. She did put a caption: play games, listen to records, watch TV, just hang out and catch up. So because she's targeting the ski people, I would probably focus all the captions on that ski experience. And so you got to imagine, like, what are people going to do? People are going to jump in a car, they're going to drive to a ski resort, they're going to go skiing all day, and they're going to come back at like 5 or 6, maybe 7, if they get a couple drinks. And then what do they want to do, right? They probably want to chill. They want to relax. And so I would emphasize that the living room is very comfortable and that you can watch, you know, a movie or something, or, you know, just put your feet up, have a drink and relax. That's what I would emphasize in the captions. So this is the second picture. Again, this is one that I don't really like too much. Now we can see the entire title: skiboard hike within 30 minutes of Wasatch House. I guess that's the name of the place. So she didn't put a caption on this one. She's when you don't put a caption, it just shows the entire title, right? Picture number 3: groovy, well-fitted kitchen. Okay. Picture number 4: this is the master with ensuite. Nice. I like the picture. Master with king bed. Oh, second master with king bed. Okay. So there's 2 rooms with a king bed. That's awesome. We saw that there's 5 beds in total. This is again a picture of the king bed. It doesn't really add that much information. I'll probably move it out. You know, you can still include it, but a little bit further down the ranking of the photos. Next one: kids' room with trundle twins. Okay, so this is a twin bed, I guess. What I would do instead of this picture, I guess she's trying to show the wardrobe, which is good, the closet. And she also mentions luggage racks, lots of room, blackout curtains. Okay, that's all good information. Now what I would do, I would show this picture, and then I would show a second picture is exactly like this. I would open the closet, and I would arrange the beds in sleeping position so that people can see, okay, this is what it looks like when we're sleeping. Okay, so that's the third bed out of 5. Full bath fitted with hairdryer. Okay, it's good that she mentions the hairdryer. It's very important to the ladies. This picture doesn't have a caption. Okay, so now here we see the washer and dryer plus detergent. Instead of writing a caption like this, it's very factual and very informational. I would write it in a more descriptive way. That's in general for all the captions. I would focus on what you can do. So you can just write, you know, we have a brand new washer and dryer that you can use. We provide detergent, and you know, after you ski, what's better than putting all your sweaty ski gear, your ski clothes in the washer and dryer, and the next morning you have some fresh and dry clothes to put on to enjoy your next skiing day. Something like that I would write instead of washer and dryer plus detergent. All right, let's see what we have here. Store skis and snowboards here. Yeah, again, I would be a little bit more descriptive, right? after you get home from an awesome day on the mountain. This heated room will provides perfect storage space and also ensures that the next day your ski shoes are going to be dry and warm, so that it feels really good when you put them on. Next, east facing kitchen. All right, it doesn't really look like a kitchen to me. Like, I don't see a stove or something, or a fridge, or so that's a little confusing to me. It says kitchen, but it doesn't look like a kitchen. All right, so here we have Aston master with blackout curtain, luxurious bedding, luggage racks in both closets, one closet not in photos. So now I'm kind of like confused, because is this the same? This is a different bedroom than the ones we looked at before, I think. So this is another master. So this is then the third master bedroom, I guess. But then I think I saw that painting before. So I think it's actually the second. Wait, let me scroll back real quick. Okay. Yes, this is definitely the same room. So this is confusing to me, because here it says master with ensuite. And then here it says Ashton master with blackout curtains. So now I'm kind of confused. Is this the same room or not? So now I figured out it is the same room. But in general, what you want to do is you want to make a listing. You want to avoid confusion, because people have a very short attention span, especially internet users. And so when you confuse people, chance that they go back to the search results and they check out somebody else's listing, because they don't want to feel confused. They want everything to be very clear. Next, Ashton master ensuite with cotton balls, Q-tips, TP, and shower. I don't know what TP is. I would probably mention in these type of pictures, I would probably mention what's provided as well. You know, probably shampoo. You probably want to provide a big bowl of shampoo and body wash. You know, those are the things that you are kind of a pain in the butt to carry with you, especially when you go skiing. You're probably carrying a bunch of stuff. You're probably carrying a bunch of ski clothes. You might be carrying your own skis. I don't know. You probably have a lot of stuff to carry. So if I go skiing, I probably want to minimize the amount of stuff that I need to bring. And so if I know that the host has, shampoo and toothpaste and toothbrush and all that kind of stuff, then I don't have to bother bringing it. I would also probably mention that it looks like she's providing a bunch of towels. That's a good thing, obviously. I would definitely mention that in the caption too. Mention how many towels you provide, and you probably want to provide a lot, because people are definitely going to shower when they come back from skiing, and they probably also want to shower in the morning. So it'll be good to provide a lot of towels and to mention that. So this is a picture that I would probably leave out, because it just doesn't add anything. I mean, unless, I don't know if this door is important or what it does or where it goes, but as it is right now, I don't really see the point. All right, so now we get back to the living room, and guess what? I would much rather put this picture up first. This would be, from what I've seen so far, this would be my profile picture. This would be my first picture, for several reasons. Number one, it shows the entire living room, whereas the first picture kind of shows half of the living room. Number two, it shows this outside area in the back, which looks nice. There's some trees, the sun shining. It looks attractive. This picture is a little lighter than the first one. It also shows a TV, and it shows the fireplace. I can't tell if that's a real fireplace or one of those fake ones, but in any case, if I go skiing all day and I'm tired and I get home, then this looks pretty attractive to me. I would go lie on that couch, I would turn on the TV, I would put on that fireplace, and I would totally watch that movie. I don't know what that movie is, but it looks like a good movie. So yeah, this picture definitely would be my first. Compare this to the featured one. Let's just put up the featured one so we can easily compare. All right, so let me click on here. All right, so this is the one. Oh, hold on a second. Am I crazy? I guess I am crazy. No. I'm really confused right now. It's not the same picture, is it? Yeah, this is a different picture. Yeah, here we go. I think the Airbnb website is kind of confused. Okay, so now the photo is updated. All right, so she's got this one as the first one. So what looks more attractive? This or this? This looks more attractive. So I put this one as the first one. And I like the caption. Put your feet up and get cozy. Which is exactly what I want to do after a day of skiing. And then in the next picture, she shows more of the living room. There's no caption there. So you can listen to some records. Okay, so now we're getting into the details. Oh, I know what it is. It's Game of Thrones. That's right. So that means she probably has HBO. Well, that's also important to mention. If she has HBO, I would mention it. Yeah, so this looks good. There we go. Roku TV, LG soundbar, easily sync your smart device to stream music and videos. That is good information. So, Kimberly, put this picture first and let people know in the caption. You've got a lot of space in the caption. You can write like 2 or 3 sentences. Write all that information there. Because then people can, the first picture that people look at, they immediately know, okay, when I come back from skiing, I'm going to be able to chill out on this couch, put up my feet, watch a movie, watch HBO. There's a sound system, right? You don't want to wait till picture 17, picture 18, what is it? Picture 21 to let people know. Because quite simply, not everyone is going to make it to picture number 21. People are going to look at multiple listings. They're going to scroll through the first bunch of pictures, and then they're going to go to some other listing, and they're going to look at some pictures of that listing. So you want the most attractive stuff that you have to offer with your audience in mind, right? With the people in mind that you're catering to. That has to be in the front. All right, next. Remote controls are labeled for convenience. That's great. Good information. Another picture of the living room. Now, another thing that you notice is that she's put a lot of pictures that are kind of, you know, a bunch of these pictures don't really add a lot of information. So I would probably take this one out because it just doesn't really add anything. Hallway. Okay, so there's some information about staircase going down and rides no access. Door at bottom is bolted. Okay, that's really good that she provides this information, because if you don't, then guests are going to come to the house. They're going to see a door is locked, right? And they're going to be like, huh? They're going to be confused. They're going to be like, can we use this? What is this? Why is this locked? So that's definitely information that you want to communicate. Next, this picture, dusk. Okay, so here's a picture of the house. I don't really like the picture too much because it's raining, or it rained. This just looks like it's wet, and I don't want to go there. I mean, obviously, it's, you know, that's a psychological thing. I mean, obviously, everybody knows that it rains everywhere sometimes, but yeah, like this picture, for example, looks much better, right? The sun is shining. Don't show pictures when it's raining. People don't like rain. Also, this is a very attractive picture. I wouldn't wait till picture number 26. I would move this one probably within the first 6, just because it looks inviting. Looks nice. All right. Catch up on the day's activities on the backyard deck. Yes, that definitely has to go to the front. This is another essential piece of information that you want to provide. This could be, you know, this could push somebody over the point of booking. You know, somebody really likes to hang out outside. then this is super valuable. And so don't wait until picture 27 to post, to put this as within the first 10 pictures, I'd say. This is also a really nice picture. I would probably also move this to the front, either this one or the one that shows the entrance. So either this one or this one I would put on the front. It's nice to just kind of have an idea of what the house looks like. People want to know where they're going. People want to know what it looks like. So this is a good picture. This is a great picture too. Either this one or the other one should go to the front. It's also a good picture. I didn't know there was a massive backyard. Some people really like that. So I move it to the front. This one you don't want to move to the front. This one neither. This is like little extra details that are good to show, but they should be at the end, I would say. This is also good. Shows that you have a lockbox. Luggage racks in each bedrooms. I think we've already seen that in other pictures. And that's it. So she's got 34 pictures, which is a good amount, but I think you can probably cut about 10 pictures out. And then I would replace them, because what is missing in this listing? Remember, Kimberly is trying to attract people that want to go skiing or snowboarding. And so what would I show? I would show pictures of the mountains, pictures of the ski resort, pictures of people skiing. I would show on Google Maps, map out the route on Google Maps to the nearest ski resort so that people can see it's a 40-minute drive, it's a 30-minute drive, it's a 20-minute drive. That's the information that you want to show people, because everybody can say perfect location, but if you put the directions on Google Maps, then you're proving it, and people like proof. They like to be sure. They're paying a lot of money to go on this trip, so they want to be sure. They don't want to necessarily trust what the host is saying, because they know that the host is trying to sell their place. It's an Airbnb listing is kind of a marketing, it's a sales page, right? And so it's better to prove than to say something. Now, normally what you could do as well is you could use the reviews, go for your reviews and quote a couple people who are vouching for your listing. But since Kimberly is just starting out, she can't do that. And so she got to use all the opportunity that she has to prove things, right? Wi-Fi, for example. I haven't seen anything about Wi-Fi in the listing, in the pictures. Wi-Fi is really important. So you want to show that. You probably want to show, I always recommend the floor. It's number one, it's free. Floorplanner.com, it's free. It'll probably take you an hour, but then you have like a really nice picture of the house, so people can see exactly like how many bedrooms and how are the bedrooms located and everything. Sleeping arrangements are also really important. So there's bedroom 1 has 1 king bed, bedroom 2 has 1 king bed, bedroom 3 has 2 single beds. I think we saw that. I think those were the 2 twin beds, I believe. And then there's common spaces, 1 queen bed and 1 sofa bed. Okay, so I'm not sure if I've seen both of these spaces. So let's go back to the pictures and let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, two masters. Okay, so what is this? Kids room with trundle twins. Okay, so is this bedroom 3 with 2 single beds, or is this common spaces, 1 queen bed, 1 sofa bed? I don't know. I guess this is the room with the twin beds. And this is just me thinking out loud. I do realize some people might be smarter than me, but they might know. But I find it a little bit confusing. So where's the common spaces? The queen, I don't see the queen bed, and I don't think I saw the sofa bed, unless I missed something. Okay, so this is, yeah, that's important information. People want to know where they're going to be sleeping. And so imagine that I'm going to rent Kimberly's house. She can host 8 guests. Now, I'm probably not going to show up with 8 people because it's only 115 a night. So, if you go with 4 people, it's like $30 each, pretty doable. There's 3 bedrooms. So if I was to go, let's say I go with 4 people. And so I look at this and I'm like, oh, how we're going to divide this? Okay, well, 2 people get the king beds. And then either 2 people sleep on these singles or 1 person on the common spaces. Or if you're with 6 people, if you're going to use those common spaces, then you need to know what it looks like. People want to know where they're sleeping. I mean, I've seen this so many times where I want to book a place with a bunch of my friends, and I'm looking at the bedrooms. It says 4 bedrooms, and then they show the nice bedrooms, number 1, 2, and 3, number 4. And so the reason I can't book that because if I show up there and I tell my friends, hey, we got 4 bedrooms, and then the 4th bedroom turns out to be like a wardrobe or like a super uncomfortable bed or just a mattress or whatever, that 4th person that has to sleep in that spot is gonna not like me very much, right? And when I'm booking, I'm responsible. So I need to know exactly what it looks like. I need to know exactly what the sleeping arrangement is like so that I can tell my friends. I can say like, hey, there's 2 masters. There's 1 third bedroom that has 2 twin beds. There's a sofa bed in the living room. This is what it looks like. Are we doing this? Is somebody okay with sleeping on this sofa bed, right? Based on the pictures. If there's no picture, I don't know. And I wouldn't book it. And so what I would do, or what I do sometimes, if I really want to stay at the listing, if it looks really nice, I'll contact the host and I'll say, hey, can you please put up a picture of the sofa bed or whatever the thing is that's missing, that the information that is missing. In Kimberly's case, I would ask her several questions. I would ask her, what does it look like? The common area sleeping arrangements. I would also say, what about bedding? Are there enough blankets? It might be cold. It's a ski area. I'm assuming it might be cold. What about the heating? Is the house heated? What about the Wi-Fi? Like people who travel, the first thing they do when they get to their destination is they want to connect to the Wi-Fi. They want to charge the devices, right? That's the first thing people do. And so, when you go skiing, you take a couple videos and then you get back to the house and you want to upload this really cool video of you skiing, right? You want to show off to your friends. You need fast Wi-Fi. And sure, you can put that in the description. And I'm looking at the description right now. I recently learned that apparently the amount of words that you put in your description is correlated to the position in the search results. I think that might be true, but I think that just adding a whole bunch of nonsense is not going to help you. Adding a whole bunch of words, but what I do think that it's important to provide as much information as possible in your description. And so you want to kind of write down all the details because, even though a lot of people probably won't read the description or not entirely, the more information you provide, the better, because it doesn't really hurt. And, make sure it's readable. Like this is pretty readable, but just by the amount that's there, I can already tell there's probably more information that you could be providing. And so I would encourage Kimberly to write a bit more information. I don't really see anything about the Wi-Fi, for example. So that's a question that I would have for her. I mean, it says, it's listed under the humanities, but that doesn't mean anything, right? That could be like some super slow, limited connection. And, if I arrive at this house and then with all my friends and then the Wi-Fi sucks, I mean, everyone's going to be mad at me. My friends are not going to like me. And I don't want that. So I want to make sure that the Wi-Fi is good. So I would do a speed test on speedtest.net and just take a screenshot. Just put it up there. I'm sure she has fast internet. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that she has fast internet, and so you want to show that, prove it to people. Obviously, Kimberly doesn't have any reviews yet. She has a flexible cancellation policy, which we can see here. So that's good, because when you're just starting out, you want to make it as easy as possible for the guest to book your place. I'm not completely sure how you can see whether instant book is turned on or not. And it kind of confuses me these days, but I think she has instant book on because there's this book button. So I can probably insta book it. Let's see. She has 11% off for November 30 to December 13th. So she's offering a discount, which is good, because you want to offer a discount because you want to get some bookings, you want to get some customers, you want to get some people in your house. That's how you get started. And so anything you can do to encourage people to book is good. I wouldn't worry too much about how much money you're making in the first couple months. I mean, definitely Christmas, I would check up the prices. I think she's probably done that, but she's got a booking 19 through 30th, or she's staying there herself. I don't know, but also New Year's. You probably want to jack up the prices. Let's take a look. So she put it up to 144. I mean, I think for New Year's, you probably want to charge more. I don't know if she's if she might have done that actually, because if we let's just put New Year's. Oh, I pressed booked. Okay, she put it up to. So that's pretty good. Okay, so I think I pressed the book button, but I'm not going to book it, unfortunately, because actually I wouldn't mind going skiing in Salt Lake City. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, but policies, house rules, that's all good. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't really know what else to tell you, Kimberly. So yeah, I think you've done a lot of things right, but I think there's room for improvement, especially when it comes to the first image, the order of your photos. There's a lot of essential information that's missing, and so you really want to provide that information. You really want to show people where they'll be sleeping, what are the sleeping arrangement. The kitchen is a little confusing to me, and so I think if you fix those things, you have a much better chance of getting booked. If you change the first picture, you probably get more views. You change your title, then you probably get more views, you'll get more bookings, and you might want to lower your price a bit too, because the first couple bookings, there's two ways that a booking helps you. First of all, it's the direct sort of monetary value of the booking. If you get booked for $500, you make $500. That's great, but that booking is gonna deliver more bookings in the future. So it kind of pays you a little more than the $500, and so that part is really big. That indirect value of a booking is astronomically higher when it's your first booking than when it's your 400th booking, right? Because whether you had 400 or 399 bookings, it doesn't really matter too much. But the difference between having one review and 0 reviews, the difference between having 1 booking and 0 bookings, that's a huge deal, right? Even the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, those bookings are incredibly valuable because they're gonna really lead to a lot more bookings. So they're probably, the indirect value of those bookings is probably way greater than the direct monetary value. So whether you're making $100 a night on that first booking, or you're making 200 or 150 or 50, or even you're making 0, it's completely outweighed by the indirect value of the future bookings that you're going to get because of that booking. And so don't worry about making money in the first couple of weeks or the first couple of bookings, with the exception of the dates, right? I mean, you don't want to put your listing up for Christmas, New Year's. You don't want to put it up for a massive discount. But the other days, the days before Christmas, because I imagine right now is the start of the season, And so we're, what are we? We're November 26th. So it's another 4 weeks before Christmas. And those 4 weeks, I can imagine that it's probably not, a really busy time. And so use those 4 weeks to get some people in, right? Get some bookings. You don't make a lot of money, that's okay. You get an opportunity to learn, you get an opportunity to improve, and those bookings, even though they don't pay you a lot in direct money, those bookings will really, really help you when January comes and February comes and it's high season. And now you're able to charge $200, $250, $300 because you have a lot of great reviews. All right, so that's it. Let me, oops, pressed the wrong button. Okay, so let me go back to this view. What's up, guys? Genius at work. I didn't put that up. That's my landlord. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I will put this up on YouTube, obviously. If you want me to review your listing, then you can email me at jesper@getpaidforyourpad.com. Now, I've got a lot of requests, so I'm not going to be able to accommodate everybody in the next couple months, but I will put you on the list. If you have any other questions, of course, always email me at jesper@getpaidforyourpad.com. Check out my Instagram, Get Paid for Your Pad. I've been doing some IGTV videos on Instagram. I've been doing, and I'm adding some stories in the highlights, some Airbnb tips, and I'm going to continue to build that. And so when you're, waiting for the bus or something, you just put out your Instagram, you go to Get Paid for Your Pad, and you watch a couple videos before, while you're waiting for the bus or whatever time you have to kill. People love being on their Instagrams, and so I want to put a lot of content on there. So yeah, check it out. And of course, also sign up for my newsletter so that I can send you emails. And you do that at getpaidforyourpad.com/newsletter, or on the front page, or sidebar on my blog. I think there's a sign up as well. I'll send you like a cool report with some Airbnb tools and some special deals and stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. And until next time, hasta luego.